what we've tried to look for is an appetite for risk, an appetite to take the ambition or the concept of what they wanted to do and taken it to the furthest degree. They've pushed it along and let that idea of how they're going to innovate the form change throughout the course of the novels. We are 3 of the 4 Goldsmiths Prize judges for this year. We have just finished the judging meeting. We've come up with a very strong 6-book shortlist. Unfortunately, our 4th judge, Tracey Thorn, couldn't be with us to film, but we're going to explain a little bit about why we think they're the most innovative books of the year.
I'd like to talk about Happy by Nicola Barker. This is a novel that takes a kind of language and discourse that comes out of a very contemporary mode around social media with likes and favorites, but extrapolates on this to a really extreme degree to build a future world, a really terrifying, very believable future world. She exerts enormous control over the page. It's a very difficult book to make work, I think, and I think she succeeds brilliantly, and it's really funny.
Reservoir 13 from John McGregor. It's a story that very quietly sets out over a very long time scale, an unusually long time scale, the life of a village and the interweaving networks of relationships between people within a village. There's a dark thread running through of genuine anguish. It's kind of an expression of the emotional depth of people that might otherwise be taken for granted. It certainly looks experimentally at what a novel can be.
Playing Possum by Kevin Davey. It's a virtuoso performance of an American poet going down to Whitstable to stay in the Cumberland Hotel. It's brilliantly strange and odd and may involve T.S. Eliot committing murder, we're not quite sure. You're constantly wrong-footed in this novel. You never really know what the frame of reality is. It does constantly change, and the voices constantly change as well.
I guess as a reader, what I'm always looking for on the page is intensity, and we certainly get that in First Love by Gwendolyn Riley. It's an incredibly intense vision that we get in the book. It's the story, to put it extremely mildly, of a troubled marriage. Readers might come to this and say this is a very bleak vision. I think it also manages to be hysterically funny all the way through.
This is Will Self's phone. It's something that's got a serious voice in it, genuinely looks at how to do something new with prose. It'll take you from a protagonist with dementia to a middle-class strangulated kitchen to a torture chamber. There's all kinds of moral compromise, and there's a working out of what that moral compromise leads to.
Sarah Baum's A Line Made by Walking. The story follows a young artist who retires, I suppose, back to her dead grandmother's house, and it follows the decay in many ways of her mind, the entropy that's going on in the natural world. It plays around with pictorial representations and language and gives you a real artery into the artist's mind as well.
If you think about the literary novel, hopefully it's inherently experimental. So you're coming in with a very high bar because you're asking for experiment within a form which is experimental.
This is a mad business. This is a nutty business, trying to make these crazy little worlds come to life on the page. There has to be that measure of wildness in it and looseness as well. And when the writer's done that successfully and the book's kind of made their own music, and a very convincing music, that's when it was very satisfying to read the work.